He was a man who loved life in its simplest, brightest form. He laughed when others frowned. He smiled when the world seemed determined to frown. His charm wasn't for show, it was armor, because deep down he knew that life wasn't always kind. But that didn't mean it couldn't be beautiful. He fell in love with a woman whose smile could light the darkest room. A love so pure, so unstoppable that it seemed impossible anyone could ever stand in its way. Yet love rarely follows the path we expect. It's messy, complicated, and sometimes requires courage greater than we ever thought we had. He courted her not with grand gestures or riches, but with humor, imagination, and an unshakable optimism. Every moment together became a story, a game, a tiny victory against a world that could have swallowed them whole. His love didn't just win her heart, it created a world where laughter became a shield and hope became a weapon. But the world outside their joy was dark, growing darker with every passing day. The rising tide of hatred, fear, and violence began to reach into even the smallest corners of life. And then, suddenly, it came for them. The man who had built his life on love, laughter, and imagination was forced to face a reality that threatened to destroy everything he held dear. He was taken from the life he had built, thrown into a place where cruelty ruled and freedom meant nothing, a place where fear was currency and hope was rare. And yet, even there, he refused to give up the most important thing, the innocence of those he loved. For his child, he became more than a father. He became a magician, a storyteller, a hero. Every day in that place was turned into a game. Every order, every command, every cruel rule was a puzzle to be solved for a prize, a point scored toward survival. He transformed horror into hope, terror into imagination, showing his child that even in the darkest place, life could still be a game worth playing. The other prisoners didn't understand. Guards didn't understand. The world outside certainly didn't understand, but he did. Because he knew the only power stronger than fear was love, and the only weapon sharper than despair was imagination. As the days dragged on, the stakes grew higher. The dangers became impossible to ignore. Yet with each moment, he protected his child's mind, wrapped him in illusions so bright that the grim reality could not reach him. He whispered rules, created challenges, invented stories, all to keep hope alive. And in the end, he paid the ultimate price. His body was taken, his freedom stripped. Yet even in his absence, the world he had built, a world of love, laughter, and imagination, endured. His child emerged into the sunlight, holding onto the truth his father had never let him forget, that even when life is cruel, it is still worth loving, still worth dreaming, still worth living fully. Because sometimes, the greatest triumph is not survival. It is the courage to teach the world that joy can exist in the most impossible circumstances. That laughter can echo louder than fear. That love can protect even when power cannot. And though he was gone, the lesson remained. Life is cruel, yes, but it is also beautiful, for those brave enough to see it that way. Can you guess the movie?